Hello YouTube, today we do an Eidolon tier list. Surprisingly enough, it seems there isn't much on the web about this topic, which is of paramount importance, especially for free-to-play or low-spender players. An Eidolon has the same cost of a character, so it means we are giving up on a potential new character to give new abilities or powers to a character we already own. It's a huge sacrifice, and as such, it's important to understand which are the best. I'll be making two tier lists on the topic. This one focuses on Eidolon 1 and 2, which are accessible to any player, even free-to-play given the investment. I'll be giving a little extra value to Eidolons 2 that have a good Eidolon 1 before them, and at the same time, a bonus to Eidolon 1s that open the path to good Eidolon 2s. Now, a quick review of the tiers. The Soci tier will be home to Eidolons that change the gameplay of the character. They make it easier for you to play in different teams, or make some of their abilities activate more often, or make their gameplay more fluid and rewarding. The Amazing tier will host Eidolons that are great in how they increase the performance of a character, while being less flashy than the Soci ones in terms of gameplay. The Borderline tier is for Eidolons that end up being useful to access to new ones, or are just okay to pull but nothing one would usually pull out of enthusiasm. The Crappy tier is for Eidolon you usually don't pull unless you really like the character, and lastly, the Dawn tier is for Eidolons that are not needed by the meta. Yeah, of course you can pull for them, but at least you are sure they won't change your performance by much. Also keep in mind that for standard characters the Eidolon will be weighted differently because they are basically free to play material. You get them when you lose the 50-50, you never go for them, will be much more graceful for them. Alright, we start from Acheron in alphabetical order. Acheron's Eidolon 1 says, crit rate increased by 18% when dealing damage to debuffed enemies, which is almost every time because Acheron's E1 says, crit rate increased by 18% when dealing damage to debuffed enemies, which is almost every time because Acheron needs debuffers. And E2 says the number of Nihility character acquired for the trace is decreased by 1. That's the most important part of this. When this unit starts, you have 1 stack on the ultimate, 1 stack on the enemy. This is a very quality of life Eidolon that also gives an edge on damage dealing because you are much more free to build your team around the fact that you have one more slot that doesn't need to be Nihility. As you can see in the calculations, the first Eidolon increases the free-to-play DPS by 13%, while the second increases it by 56% over the Eidolon 1. If we go here, I think the Eidolon 1 is borderline, because it's just a stepping stone, but the second one is between Amazing and Soci. From my point of view, it's Soci because if you want to play Acheron, you want to be more free to build a team around her, even just for fun. You want to try new characters, and if you are bound to Nihility, you may get bored pretty fast. Okay, let's go ahead. We are going to review Argenti. Argenti says each stack of additional increases crit damage by 4%, and the second says if the number of enemies on the field equals 3 or more, when the ultimate is used, the attack increases by 40%. Attack is not too precious, and as you can see, the damage increase is 150 for E1 and 124 for E2. They are very small, plus they are not a real change. So I would say they are Daunt tier, because it's an old character that can perform very well just at E0. The Eidolons are not changing your life. Yeah, they are a damage increase, maybe the first is a little bit better, but going up to the second seems a huge cost. So we could do this if you prefer. I think this is in the middle. Let's go ahead, we have many to review. Now we have Aventurine. Aventurine is an incredible character, increases crit damage by 20% for allies with fortified wager. After using the ultimate, provides all allies with a shield, which is 100% of the skill, so basically you have another shield equal to the skill plus 20% crit damage when fortified wager. And E2 says when using basic attack, reduces the target, the single target's all type resistance by... I think Iron 1 is pretty good, because you have a more shield, which is the core mechanics of Aventurine. It's not really needed in terms of fighting, because he already provides a lot. This is more of a quality of life thing. Plus you have 20% crit damage though, which is pretty good. The second one though, gives you 12% all type resistance penetration, which is good on single target. It means basically 12% more damage, I think. But at the same time, it's only 12%, so I think it stays here with the Aventurine one maybe a little bit better. This one you could say it's amazing, but I wouldn't say that just because you already have enough shield. But it's a top of the borderline tier. Alright, let's go ahead. We have Bailu. Bailu has free-to-play islands, so let's read them. If the target's ally's current HP is equal to their max HP when Invigoration ends, Invigoration is the regen thing she applies, Bailu additionally regenerates 8 energy for this target, so she provides energy to targets that haven't been hit. I think this is an incredible island, I love it. I have it, because I was crippled by it, and they gave it to me, so it's pretty good anyways. Island 2, after using her ultimate, Bailu's outgoing healing increases by an additional 15% for 2 turns. This is a quality of life thing, if you don't have enough healing for some reason. She has very good healing, the problem is that she doesn't cleanse. So I think the first is amazing because it's free to play, and the second is borderline, yeah, here. Similar to the Aventurine one. They are free to play, keep in mind. Of course the Aventurine ones are stronger. Black Swan's E1 says, while Black Swan is active in battle, enemies afflicted with one of the DOT will have their corresponding weakness respectively reduced by 25%. Keep in mind that all the DOT count as all the DOT when you use the ultimate, so this is always up after the ultimate. 25% elemental resistance down. And Ichu says, when an enemy target afflicted your Arcana is defeated, there's a 100% chance to afflict 6 more stack over. Okay, so this is basically amazing. I think 25% damage is a lot. And the second one, I don't know, it's probably borderline. It's more damage, but it's self-damage. Now, Blade. E1. Blade's ultimate deals additionally increased damage to a single enemy target, and this depends on the HP he lost during the battle, capped at 90% of his max HP and up to 150% of that. And when Blade is in the Hellscape state, his crit rate increased by 15% is the second. I don't really like any of those. As you can see, the damage increase is not so relevant. They go with the Argenti ones, I think. Yeah, like these, honestly. Yeah, let's bring this here. Honestly, I think it's more fair. Yeah, don't pull for them. Let's go ahead. Boothill. When the battle starts, obtains 1 stack of pocket trick shot. When Boothill deal damage, ignore 16% of the enemy's target's defense. Defense red is good if you have more defense red, keep in mind, so it can be useful. And the second is when in standoff and gaining pocket trick shot, covers 1 skill point, increases break effect by 30%, so it's damage and quality of life. It can also trigger when you are over the limit, but not more than 1 turn. So let's take a look. The first one gives you 8%, yeah, because probably the defense red is not that important. It's 12% if you have the light con, if you don't, it's just 8%. The second gives you 8% if you don't, so the light con here is the game changer, it seems. So, yeah, here. Costly, we don't want them. Bronya, E1. It's for free. Using Bronya's skill has 50% fixed chance of recovering 1 skill point. I got it recently. 1 turn cooldown, this is very good. Issue, when using skill, the target's ally speed increased by 30% after taking action, lasting for 1 turn. This is not too important, but it's decent for main DPS characters. Bronya E1, I think it's amazing because it's for free, and also gives Bronya much more availability when it comes to characters that use a lot of skill points. The second is probably borderline, but it's for free, right? So yeah, it's good borderline, it's for free. Let's go ahead. Bronya is done. Clara. Clara is an incredible character. E1. Using skill will not remove marks of counter on the enemy. And the E2. After using the ultimate that increases by 30%, they don't seem brilliant. Let's see the damage multiplier. So E1, 1 of 40? Wow, that's pretty good instead. So the counter is relevant? On a multiple target? It seems so. I was wrong. single target doesn't change anything, but multiple target does, and especially the first one. Yeah, the second one is not brilliant. Okay, so this is amazing, it seems. And the second one is whatever. Yeah, but they're for free, so it's not a problem for us. Let's go ahead. I just want to review them because we have them, so we know when get them if to be happy or not. Imbibitor Lunae E1 increase the stackable right to heart count by 4 and gains 1 extra stack of right whose heart for each hit during an. So this is a damage increase. And the other one is after using the ultimate, you gain another action and 1 squama. The problem is that this one increases the number of skill points you are going to use. So the first Eidolon increase by 14% and the second is huge increase, of course. If you manage to use the skill points in a good way, which is not easy, 150% on each is always good, especially because it's an old character. So I would say the first one is really whatever, but the second one is amazing. You could say it's saucy because it gives you 1 extra skill point, but honestly you consume them. Doctor ratio E1. This is very important for free-to-play. The maximum stackable count for trace summation increased by 4. When a battle begins, immediately obtain 4 stacks and needs to unlock summation first. E2. When his sudden follow-up attack hits a target, for every debuff, additional increase imaginary damage by 20% of ratio attack. You could say these here or here, maybe here. Yeah, nothing special. I don't feel the need of them. Feixiao, that's another music. After launching bolt, thunder, blitz or war axe skyward, this should increase the ultimate damage dealt by 10% of the original attack. So this kind of a stackable E1, it's just damage, and the second allows you to have double stack on follow-up attacks. So this is huge. The first is fine, it's 26% damage. So it's not even bad. So it seems I did forget to add Feixiao, and then now we are good. So Ion 1 is top of the borderline tier. And the second one is, of course, saucy. This changes everything. It changes the gameplay of the character, because you can use the ultimate more times, which is also fun to see. Now, Firefly, that's another one. E1, when using the enhanced skill, you know 15% of the defense, and the enhanced skill does not consume skill points. So it's quality of life and some damage. And E2 is when using the enhanced basic attack or the enhanced skill in complete combustion state, defeat an enemy target, or when you weakness break, you gain an extra turn, and this can trigger again after 1 turn, the second. So the second is very good. The problem is that the first is not incredible. So I think the first is costly and the second is fine. Yeah, I would say that. Alright, now, Xuan. The first says knowledge effect increases crit damage by 30%. It's very similar to other support islands. And E2, okay, this is quality of life, I understand. I think the first one is borderline, bottom of borderline. And the second one is pretty good, honestly, to revive a character for a support. So it's probably fine. Yeah, top of borderline. It's a support island, so it's very costly. Let's go ahead. Gepard, free to play. Base chance for Gepard skill to freeze, terrible. E2. After an enemy frozen by Gepard, skill is unfrozen, speeding reduced. Wow, okay, those are very bad. They are not costly because they are free to play, but they're very bad. They're very bad. I wouldn't say they are useful at all. I'm sorry, Gepard. Himeko. After victory, speed increased by 20%. It's a main DPS, so it's not terrible. And deals 15% more damage to enemy whose HP is 50% or less. They're not incredible. Yeah, they're for free, so they are whatever. They're a little bit better than that, but yeah. Himeko, come on, you can do better. Huo Huo. The duration of Divine Provision produced by talent is increased by 1 turn. When she has Divine Provision, speed increased. E2, if Huo Huo accesses Divine Provision, you don't die, you get restored at 50%, you can use it 2 times, so it's better. This one is better than Xuan's, but we are around there. Jade, Altruism, nevertheless tradable. Follow-up attack damage is increased by 32%, the one from the talent, and after the character uses with the status uses an attack and hits 2 enemy targets, is charge up, so it's hair stacks, and when there are 15 stacks, crit rate increased by 18%. So the first is a 10. Yeah, it's not incredible. Yeah, whatever. I don't like them. I will say they are costly. Don't pull for them. The character is good at E0. Let's go ahead. Jiaoqiu. Those are very important. Allies deal 40% increased damage to enemy inflicted with Ashen Rose. What? 40% increased damage? Okay. Whenever they inflict to an enemy target, additional increase the number. Okay. And the issue is when an enemy target is afflicted with the buff, increase the multiplier of fire DOT dealt by Ashen Rose by 300%, so it's self-damage. Is it even real? Wait, this is amazing. This is incredible. The second one is whatever. How much is it? It's... what? 1 million damage? 3 targets. Okay, never mind. That's better than I thought. Can I say it's amazing? It's a lot of damage, self-damage. Oh my god, these islands are very weird. Yeah, the first is incredible. Allows a DPS to basically destroy the opponent. Yeah, this character is incredible. With investment, Jiaoqiu becomes incredible, I think. Let's go ahead. Jing Yuan. Oh, I'm sorry, Jing Yuan. When Lightning Lord attack, the damage multiplier 25% on the side. And after Lightning not take action, damage increased on the bad ones. Yeah, 13, 19. That's not... No, don't. Don't. Sorry, Jing Yuan, you're my favorite character, but it doesn't matter. Jingliu. Islands. Yeah, old characters, bad islands usually. When using her ultimate or run skill, Jingliu crit damage increases by 24% per 1 turn. If only one enemy is attacked, it's stronger. And after using ultimate, increases damage of the next enhanced skill by 80%. Single target 42%, of course, makes sense. Nothing in multi-target. And the second one is really whatever. 17%. So the second is whatever. Costly. The first one is debatable. I think it's strong in single. Do you go in single target situations in these mods? It's borderline, I think it's here. It's interesting though. It's an interesting island. But I wouldn't invest in it. Okay, Kafka, Da Capo. When the target triggers a follow-up attack, there's a 100% chance to DOT increase by 30%, 2 turns. I think 30 is not bad, because you have a DOT team in that case. I think it's good. Ichu, fortissimo, for reasons. While Kafka is on the field, DOT dealt by all allies increased by 25%. So 25 on top. Okay. All DOT team. Okay, so... yeah, I think they are good. If you want to go DOT, those are solid, especially if DOT becomes stronger. They're probably both here, bottom of the tier. Yeah, I like them. If you want to go full DOT, Kafka becomes much more supportive. Yeah, I think I like them. Luocha. While the field is active, attack increases 20%. And the second is very simple. The second is, when skill is triggered, the target's HP is lower if you have more healing, and in the other case you have a shield, so it's support. Okay, I don't like it either. Yeah, whatever. The shield is fine, but you don't really need it. Robin. While Concerto State is active, all allies, all type resistant penetration increased by 24%. This is so generic, so strong. While the Concerto State is active, all ally speed increased by 16% and faster ultimate. I think the second one is not really needed. This one is very good. Yeah, I would say a little bit better than Kafka. Not better than those. Here. And the second one is really whatever. Maybe here. Okay. Ruan Mei, while the ultimate field is deployed, damaging ignore 20% defense. And with Ruan Mei on the field, all allies are increased by their attack by 40% when dealing damage to enemies with weakness break. I don't like them much. I think they are fine if they stack. I think they're both borderline here. Let's go ahead. Seele. When dealing damage to enemy whose HP is damaged, crit rate 15%, and speed boosts effect by skill, can stack 2 times. Is the first this bad? Looks like it's very bad. The second one seems strong. Okay. So the first one is whatever, costly. And the second one is borderline here. Okay, we go ahead. And we study Silverwolf. After using ultimate on to attack enemies, regenerates 7 energy for every debuff. I like this one. When an enemy enters battle, the after resistance reduced by 20%. Yeah, they're fine. They're both fine. Not for her own damage, but they're both fine. So they go into the borderline tier, somewhere here. But they're not important at the moment. Sparkle. Cypher Fat granted by ultimate for 1 extra turn. This is just quality of life. All allies with Cypher have their active increase 40%, nothing incredible. Every stack of the talent effect allows allies to additionally ignore 80% of their target defense. I don't know, I don't like them. I don't like them. They're not incredible, I think. The first one is a little bit better. The second one is really whatever. I don't know, they're here. Topaz and Nambi. When an enemy is afflicted with proof of that follow-up attack, they will enter depth of state. This can affect only once every single action. Crit damage increased by 25% for follow-ups, stacking up to 2 times, so 50%. When it's removed, the state is removed. After Nambi takes action and launches an attack, 5 energy back. Yeah, I think the first one is pretty good. Should be like here, maybe here. Yeah, I like it. For follow-up, it's very important. And the second one is borderline at the bottom of the tier. The first one is very good though. Welt. After Welt uses his ultimate, his ability are enhanced. The next 2 times they deal more damage, and then when his talent is triggered, 3 energy. Okay, those are whatever. The second one seems important. Why? The second one seems important. Oh, because the talent triggers a lot? I don't know, the second seems important. I don't get why, but we can say they're free to play. This one is no. And this one is pretty good considering it's free to play. It goes here. Actually, it goes here, which is very fun because it's free to play. Yeah. Is it even better? I can't. Even for the calculation here, yeah, I can't. It's probably fine. And then we have Yanqing, which is also fun to review. Frozen enemy, additional ice damage at 60% of his attack. Okay, that's not incredible. When Soul Seal Sync is active, regeneration rate 10%. Okay, they're terrible, right? Yes. Yeah, they are terrible, but they're free to play. Bottom of the tier. There's no Daunt because they're free. You're just sad. Okay, you leave my favorite character. E1, increase damage dealt by the call and the slash by 20%. Increase the number of additional damage instances by 3. This is incredible. I have it. And the second one is 20% the defense ignore with the counter. So the first one is amazing. I think it's one of my favorite Eidolons. Goes here. It's amazing. Trust, it makes the character so strong. The second one is interesting. The second is still good, but not game-changing. But yeah, very good Eidolons. And we are done for now. So let's review the tier list. So this is the final tier list. I reordered them a little bit to show you what I think. I moved the free-to-play ones down in the list so that they don't confuse you. But yeah, as you could expect, the Feixiao, Acheron are here. Then you have the other main DPS characters, with Firefly not really needing the Eidolons that much. It seems Firefly really benefits more from just main character. It's a free-to-play character, that's the point. But yeah, the second one is not too bad at all. And this is a very good enabler for Imbibitor Lunae, but you still use too many skill points from my point of view. So yeah, it's very debatable. And I am going to rank this up because you need it for the Ichu. So it goes here together with the other 2. Same applies with Imbibitor Lunae. So you have those here after the characters. There we go, this is the final list. I hope you enjoyed, and let me know if you agree or if you think differently from Eidolon 1 and 2. We'll make a tier list for Eidolon 4 and 6 in the future, so stay tuned for that. If you want to pull for Eidolons, always think about it, because each Eidolon counts as a new character, so they are sacrificed. I think those 2 are pretty fun to have. I managed to get Feixiaos for Acheron teams. I have been hearing about this a lot, and this I expected to get someday, but I am not Imbibitor Lunae main anymore. Firefly Ichu also seems very fun to have, honestly. The other, keep in mind Jiaoqiu is an incredible support, especially with investment. That's something you really want to remember. That's something that makes me very surprised. That's it. Have a nice day. This is Nero Atlas with your first Eidolon tier list for the channel. And the first Eidolon tier list is pretty much everywhere it seems. I can't find a good one. Thank you for being here, and see you soon around.